Hello, I'm Paul Lovejoy, and this is the African History course. What you're listening to in the background is Papa Wemba. Papa Wemba is a musician from Congo. He's no longer with us. He died a few years ago. If you want, you'll be able to click and listen to this whole song, and you can Google him and find out more about his life. Yeah. So, the introduction to this course, uh, I want to explain how the course is going to proceed and what I expect from everybody who's taking the course. First of all, I will attempt to have the week's course available on Monday morning, as I'm attempting to do this morning. The session will consist of several parts. One, me giving a lecture in connection with a PowerPoint presentation. Second, it will include one, sometimes two videos that relate to the theme of the week. Third, it will involve a reading that will be available either on Google Drive, which I will set up an account that all of us can have access to, or it will be available on Moodle, or both. And fourth, we will have, in the course of the week that follows the class being available on Monday mornings, hopefully, then the rest of the week we will have time to engage in a chat online about certain questions that arise from the readings or from the videos or from the PowerPoint presentation. To assist in the chat discussion, each person in the class will be responsible for organizing questions for a particular week in relation to the reading assignment and the videos that are part of the course. That means that two people will be organizing questions for the chat sessions each week. They will have to submit the questions online on Moodle by the end of Monday, so that we can have Tuesday through Friday to have a chat around the particular questions that are being asked. And of course, this will be part of the grading system for the course. I will put the grading system and how it's broken down on Moodle so that you can see what the requirements are. Today's introduction is really only to explain the format that we will be following. What I will want to do next is to have a PowerPoint presentation with me talking to that presentation. That video discussion of mine and the PowerPoint will be accessible repeatedly on Moodle in case you need to take more details. One word about the nature of the reading assignments. The reading assignments are going to be very, very focused on individuals. You will not be reading a textbook. My lectures will serve the function of being the textbook and explaining why we're doing what we're doing and what we're learning and how this fits into general history of Africa, particularly since 1800. The videos and the movies and the readings will all be discussed in the context of those PowerPoint presentation and lectures. Otherwise, the readings, especially in the first term, are going to be almost entirely about individuals, and therefore they will be biographical in nature. The first week is a slight exception because it's an epic from ancient Mali, and so therefore it's not actually a biography, but nonetheless it is a text, and it is a text that will require some not only reading of the text to see what it's like, but also discussion of what that text is. And for that purpose, I've added additional readings for anybody who might want to have a general interpretation of what the Sunjata epic is all about. What they might want a chronology. They might want to know certain types of questions that can be asked in relation to a discussion of the text. All of that will be online so that you can download it and read it. In addition, one of the videos that you will see today is actually a performance of the epic of Sunjata, and how it's enacted, and you can look at it once or twice, whatever you want to do. But it shows that the way this was done traditionally is that there were musicians who played for the performer, who recited, sang, narrated the epic. That individual is known in West Africa as a griot, and the griot is the one who actually is the performer. The types of musical instruments that were used in the background consisted either of a xylophone or a stringed instrument, and you'll see both in this particular version of it. There's another video that you will see today, which is the first in a series of videos that were developed for PBS by Henry Louis Gates Jr., who's a professor at Harvard University and who's also on television, especially PBS, a fair bit. And you will get to know him quite well in this course. In fact, I'm a very good friend of Gates. His friends know him as Skip Gates, not as Henry Louis Gates Jr. They call him Skip Gates because when he was born with one leg slightly shorter than the other, and so when he walks, he skips. And you will see that Skip Gates has a fantastic sense of humor, that he's extremely knowledgeable, and he will help walk us through different aspects of African history through his PBS videos. There will be other videos, there will be movies that we will be seeing, movies especially in the second half of the course when we get into the colonial and post-colonial period. So therefore, that's the general introduction. There will obviously be more details about papers, about quizzes, about examinations, all of which you will be very interested in knowing about, I am sure. There are two alternatives in terms of a research project that will be an assignment. You can opt to do a research paper on a theme that relates to the course and is done with my approval and in consultation with me about what you're going to do. That's one option. A second option is that in the course of this of learning about African history, we're going to be looking at certain websites, we're going to be looking at certain databases, and you can decide to write a paper that would relate to one or more of those databases if you so choose. Okay, so now we'll end here, and I will resume again with the PowerPoint presentation.